Hey, what up, y'all? What up? What up? It is showtime. It is showtime. It is showtime on the Apollo, not at the Apollo, like literally on the Apollo spaceship. So y'all see me here on the ship, on the spaceship. Let's go. You see my name for tonight? John Luke Raycard. Yeah. What's good, Mike? Yeah, we back. We back. Had to do my thing, but we back. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be back here more often. Make sure y'all check out my other platforms I'm on too. I'm also I've been picking up traction on other platforms. Hey, I see Aquarius up in the building. Good evening. Good to see you again. Yeah, I'll be over at Scorch Earth tonight as well. So y'all check me out over there. There might be a slight little influx with my schedule, but I will definitely push it back so that I can be live over there as well. So that's just given the date of this live stream, I'll probably have to edit this part out, but here nor there, yeah. But I'll be over at Scorched Earth Incorporated right after this particular live stream. So, yeah, that's the beauty of having more than one platform now. Channel on YouTube. I'm here. Like I said, Ray's cooking. Don't think Ray is gone. Ray's just been cooking. So now I'm about to give y'all something good. So yeah, let's go in without any further ado. I hope that y'all like my previous live stream that I did to this one. Uh, Overall, not just Cosmosis live stream, but just live streams in general. I've done a few of them lately, but yeah, not going to keep y'all waiting. Let's talk about tonight's topic. One thing I want to do. One thing I want to do is make a big apology. Okay, so this is my apology I have to make. Geez, let me adjust my volume a little bit on my headset. All right. Uh, my apology that I want to make is that, um, well, I've been saying that I've been trying to look for the whole Men in Black song, and I've been saying the wrong name. I think I said Jesse James. I think that's what I said. So, uh, yeah. So I'm like, dang, I messed that up. I meant Johnny Cash. That's who I meant. As far as who sung the Men in Black song, it was Johnny Cash. So I had the wrong guy because the Men in Black song was going to apply for her Cosmosis the way that I wanted to explain it. So yeah, let's get off into that. Let's get off into that. Let me reset my moderator thing for tonight because I have who I have for moderators. Let me make sure I just have who I need to have for tonight. So let me see. All right, so yeah, we got that going on, and let me just go ahead and get this all together here, and let's talk. Let's talk some more about this song, at least, right? So yeah, the Johnny Cash Men in Black song. Why did I talk about this, or why did I decide to bring this up for this live stream in particular? Like, because I did a live stream before, and y'all should check it out. It was also her Cosmosis, but it was titled Man in Black, and it was with King Ref 3. Shout out to King Ref 3. And in that live stream, we just talked about what a Man in Black really is, and how that, I guess, if we were to apply it in a romantic sense, what would a real Man in Black actually be like? So y'all should check that out. But in that live stream, I was like, dang, man, I had the wrong person for the song, and I didn't realize it then. So now I'm gonna make it up for y'all. So yeah, y'all can look up Johnny Cash, Men in Black song. He said a lot, but I'm gonna only talk about two lyrics on there that he sung, just because it's a copyrighted song. So I don't want to give too much away. Y'all can look it up for yourselves, but I can at least say this in particular, just reading it off. The Men in Black song, what he said in there, and I'll tie this in with this particular topic of her Cosmosis, which is inner Star Wars. We're going to talk about that, all right? And I'll explain everything, but bear with me. Uh, in the song of Johnny Cash, his version of Man in Black, it says, well, you wonder why I always dress in black, why you never see bright colors on my back, and my appearance why does my appearance seem to have a somber tone? Hey, Brownie, good to see you. Good to see you. He said, why does my appearance seem to have a somber tone? Well, there's a reason for the things that I have on. Well, there's things that will never be right. And I know, let me start all over again because I'm trying to make sure y'all hear this. I hope y'all heard me. Okay. Man in Black, Johnny Cash. Well, you wonder why I always dress in black, why you never see bright colors on my back, and why does my appearance seem to have a somber tone? Well, there's a reason for the things that I have on. Well, there's things that never will be right. I know. And things need changing everywhere you go. But till we start to make a move to make a few things right, you'll never see me wear a suit of white. Ah, I'd love to wear a rainbow every day and tell the world that everything's okay. But I'll try to carry off a little darkness on my back till things are brighter. I'm the Man in Black. How do we tie this in with her Cosmosis Inner Star Wars? For those who sat through that, I appreciate you because you're going to see how this ties in. Well, because you think about in this aspect of her Cosmosis Inner Star Wars of hers, he going to be wearing black. He got to deal with the darkness that's surrounding her, right? And is within her. So it's like the planetary aspect, the planet, the spaceship goes to the planet. He sees that it's a warring planet or it's a planet destroying itself, right? And so that's what that thumbnail was about, for those who really like that thumbnail. Yeah, you said the sound broke up, so I didn't hear the first few parts of the song. Okay, Aquarius just said that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and repeat the song again here in a few minutes. I'm glad you brought that up. Um, but yeah, let me move up this right quick. All right. Move up the tablet, make sure that at least it has that Bluetooth connection. I'm on a Bluetooth, so yeah, there could be a slight breakup, unfortunately. Uh but yeah, you think about with her Cosmosis, this aspect of this Star Wars, like when I talk about the inner Star Wars, it's like a spaceship going to a planet, and as you see in the thumbnail, the spaceship looks like the spaceship was actually leaving that planet, right? The spaceship was leaving that planet because it either was a warring planet or it was destroying itself, right? So that's what it looks like to me. So, but also some of the ways it was destroying itself, or it could have been a warring planet, it started to destroy parts of the ship. It literally attacked the ship itself, the spaceship. Don't know if that spaceship was a mothership. We don't know. It definitely wasn't a space plane. There's a difference between a space plane and a spaceship. Y'all got to know that. There's a difference. So, yes, I would like to say that there are not only relationships, there are also relation planes. We'll have to talk about the relation planes later. Hey, you heard somebody else talk about it? Y'all know where they got that from. Relation planes, right? We're going to talk about that too. hmm But in the Star Wars. So a man having to wear black until things get brighter, a lot of times, he's more somber in his voice in regards to being amongst the feminine, dealing with the female nature and aspects. Um, and I think that's just part of her cosmosis. A man will mostly have somber voices when it comes to the state of the modern day feminine. It's not to say he feels bad or sad or that he's discouraged by the way they are, but he just sees the way they are. He knows that a lot of them deserve better, they never experienced better, or they just need better. And that's not to even say that she's a better individual, if you will, because people are lacking morals nowadays. People are lacking etiquette. A lot of girls are lacking femininity. It's just that's just what it is. But the spaceship. it's still designed to, you know, deal with these different planets, deal with these different interstellars. Okay. So it takes on what comes with that, right? And maybe that plane, that yeah, maybe that plane, but also maybe that spaceship, it was built to deal in, it was built to deal with and endure some of the damages, some of the attacks that can come from sometimes warring planets and destroying planets. You know, the spaceship is not there to destroy planets. Okay, we're not speaking like as if we're Galactus. You know, I guess the Marvel comic villain that eats up planets, things like that. Um, we're talking about the fact that like, um, let's just go right to it. Looks like Aquarius hashtagged relation planes. Nice. Yep, that's what it is. 1 second. All right. So this is what I want to talk about mainly is I had put this in my community tab one time, and basically, just based on what I just said, just notice y'all. Just what it's like to deal with her inner Star Wars in regards to her cosmosis. No matter how much he gardens her and pardons her, there's too much that bombardens her. Her Star Wars. See, that's really what it means in regards to this aspect of uh, her cosmosis. It's similar to Star Wars 2, and in the fact that will she be more like Jedi or become more for the dark side for whatever reasons, like with Anakin Skywalker becoming Darth Vader. He went over to the dark side because there was a lot of things that happened to him that he felt wasn't right, and it bothered him. When really it was just more of an emotional thing of things that he probably never faced or never wanted to face. But it didn't help that so many people were on his case and bringing up things to his face. See, Anakin Skywalker got tired of that, and then eventually that made him be filled with rage as he caught himself trying to be on the offensive towards certain people, bringing certain things to light towards him as he was getting more into the darkness or on the dark side. And I guess what tipped the scale was when he tried to fight Obi-Wan Kenobi, and of course he lost that fight, almost lost his life, and he was recovered by some of the dark-sided people that turned him into Darth Vader. Darth, oh gosh, I can't even say it right. Darth Vader. Try saying that more than one time, right? And so eventually he just went on the dark side, stayed on the dark side. And there's a lot to say about his suit too, okay? Because his suit, actually, Darth Vader, he did not want to get a new suit. His suit that he wore actually brought him much pain. It didn't feel right on him, you know. But that's what made him survive. But he didn't want a new suit because he actually wanted to feel that pain. He wanted to feel the uncomfortableness of that suit. You know, he had more powers than a lot of Jedi, but he chose to just still uh, not try to fight like a Jedi because he wanted to feel the pain of that suit, which caused him to fight differently. But albeit he still was strong and powerful, even though he had half of the capabilities he normally would have. You know, that's the thing about Darth Vader. Like, he wanted to feel that pain. He wanted to be enraged. A lot of people say like a lot of times you're just angry due to the pain that you hold on to, you know? And that was definitely describing Darth Vader. So I say that in context of inner Star Wars. I guess there's a lot of gals that are walking around like they're Mrs. Darth Vaders, you know, just angry, just these inner Star Wars. No matter if a spaceship encounters with another kind shows up in your life and he's kind, you're not kind with him because you got all this war going on inside of you. And in many ways, not always the case, but in many ways, These wars inside of you are based on the wars that men have put inside of you, sweetie. All the stuff that guys put inside of you was warring. You know, it wasn't there to make you whole. It was there to make you just more warlike, made you more uh it's so many things I could say about this. And I guess I'm trying to keep this kind of brief for YouTube. So I'll speak on it from this standpoint then. Uh you've never really had a lot of relationships, sweetie. You didn't have relationships, you've had warships. Okay? And you got good at building warships or becoming a warship yourself. Your whole planet became like a warship. Your planet became actually a Death Star. Okay? So there we go. A lot of gals, their inner Star Wars makes them more of a Death Star when a guy gets around her, you know, because he don't know how she's going to lash out at him, even though he's been a good encounter. She sees that he's a good encounter, but to her, he is still an imposing threat. Who are you thinking you can get all inside of me like this? Try to know of me like this. Who you think you are? No, I'm not going to let you get that close. You're kind of an oddity. Oh, you're kind of, oh, you are nice looking. There's something different about your aura. I feel the gravitational pull, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you're a foreign object. You're a UFO. How can we define this? UFO. You unfamiliar object, right? UFO. Not unidentified flying object. No, just UFO, you unfamiliar object. Yeah, she just doesn't see you as familiar, bro. Like she just literally see you as a UFO. And I didn't try to rhyme. You said Aquarius. So basically, Darth Vader never faced his inner monsters he was battling, right? Yeah, he could have had monsters and demons on the inside. That's a double whammy. You also said, oh, Darth Vader. Yeah, yeah. Well, he was dark too. Yeah, Darth and dark. He was dark. Yeah, he was both. Yeah, battleships too. Battleships, warships, all in the same. That's facts. Yeah. So that's what's going on. Like, and this is the real truth that I guess with the way a guy could say it out here, I'm not speaking for any sector. Like I'm just trying to be more careful with what I say because I don't want people to think I'm just trying to call them out or nothing. I just see that there's a lack of conversations men have when they're really observing women and vice versa. You know, uh, a lot of times it's not really her attitude; it's just her war within. Keep that in mind. So maybe sometimes you have to back off. Maybe sometimes you have to not say much to her. Let her be open to your gravitation when the time comes. Otherwise, it's just going to be a war. It's not going to be a relationship. It's not going to be a spaceship, right? Yeah, spaceships, space planes, relationships, relation planes, battleships, battle planes. Man, we could really go in right now. But that's the thing. Like there are different types of UFOs, you unfamiliar objects. See, you got to also realize, fellas, you're not the only one that has came to her planet. Unfortunately, somebody else showed up before you did and caused this war within her, or didn't help her stop that war within her. She didn't want the man to give her a handout. She just wanted his help with stopping this war within her. Now, she had to be willing for him to do that. Some gals ain't willing, you know, because they're still so caught up on fighting that they're not really trying to be focused on stopping the war within them. The war gets addicting. I'm not going to lie. For a lot of the gals, the way a lot of the feminine are set up, the war is actually addicting. The war is like a drug to them. A lot of times, to see recovery on the other side is too fearful for a lot of them because that's like calmness. That's like peace. That's like, wow. So a lot of girls do go through life trying to achieve this peace on their own, without really any intervention or guys coming from a interdimension. See, the real interdimension is inside of you, sweetie. He's coming from an outer dimension, coming into your inner dimension. But you prefer the intervention, but you haven't had it like you thought you would have it lately. And no, money is not going to solve the problems. You having a better life, better degrees, better education, a better home, better car, better house, that's not going to solve the problem. What's going to solve the problem is you accepting that man in black coming into your orbit, coming into your planet. You know, he's trying to really get through the atmosphere of yours to help you to see that, hey, he's not trying to come there to destroy your planet. Ladies, he's not trying to come there to destroy your planet. There, I'm going to say it. So, what I just said just a few minutes ago with fellas, a lot of times it's not that she has an attitude, it's just that she has a war within. But, ladies, he ain't trying to come there to destroy your planet either. You got to keep that in mind. Yeah, so, but the reason why I bring up a lot of these inner Star Wars, because unfortunately, yeah, I hate to say it, but yeah, there were also other outer influences, other guys that showed up and they were not friendly. They were deceptive, right? And maybe at that time, ladies, maybe you didn't have that much of a, well, you were more open, right? Your gravitational pull was even stronger when you were younger, when you were less prone and exposed to these bad ships that showed up to your planet, right? But then what happens? He comes to your planet and tries to destroy your planet. Destroy you, basically. That's what it means. The planet is you. The inner and the outer. That's all you. But yeah, we're all in this universe. It's supposed to be universal, but he's literally trying to wipe you off the universe. Not just wipe you off the map, wipe you off the universe. So every day you go through this day of self-dying in many ways because you feel that you've already been destroyed a long time ago. So what good a man will do when he shows up and he's not trying to destroy you? You're going to think that new guy is going to destroy you too. He's not like the last guy that actually did try to destroy you. But it all feels the same because it's another spaceship coming in. So you got now with the planet of yourself that you have left, the inner and the outer, you got a big fortress up now. You got a lot of ray guns. Yes, I said ray guns. Yes, Ray said ray guns. The future of a lot of artillery and ballistics in the future, right? But plasma guns too. Choom, choom. Probably sabers, lightsabers, right? But yeah, nevertheless, you got that all set up now. You got bullseye on the bullshit. Excuse my language, but that's what it is. You got bullseye on the bullshit. And so even if a guy ain't trying to come at you like that, he's trying to be more bulletproof, if you will. Uh, you still like got your radar set until you really know this guy is friendly. This spaceship is a friendly one, right? And so that's really what's going on. But the story gets deeper in regards to the inner Star Wars. We're going to go there. So, like I said, in the thumbnail, you see the planet kind of at war, but it also could be destroying itself. What if, like, some planets have their own super volcanoes? And I'm not trying to do fear mongering because a lot of people have been showing all these articles of allegedly, oh, we got all these super volcanoes, uh, aka calderas around the world that could like destroy the world because nothing can stop them once they erupt, and they erupt like one every 2 to 3 million years or something like that. And Yellowstone, for example, has been long overdue as a super volcano. Fear mongering, right? But what if a lot of what she is just like that super volcano? You know, she just, you know, it's kind of like that movie. What was that was a movie that Bruce Willis was in. I forget the name. Armageddon. I believe that's what the movie was. Armageddon. And they went upon this comet, and they had to dig deep literally dig deep before the comet try to destroy the world, right? And so, but he had to place a bomb in it. Okay. Now, I say this not in the same sense that, ladies, the right man, he's not going to come into your life trying to put a bomb inside of you. Okay, that's for those guys, those other guys, those males, not real men. They will come into your life putting bombs inside of you. Sometimes that bomb is genetically, no pun intended, but a lot of times it's emotional and spiritual. Just when you thought things were good, you didn't know he dug so deep inside of you, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, sometimes financially, only for it to let off like a boom, like a bomb. Now somehow this destroys you. And a part of that of you, you might never be able to get back. But there might be someone showing up in your life to at least help you reassemble some things. Maybe not back to its original state, but pretty darn close. And sometimes even better. Sometimes, ladies, don't try to have things go back to the way they were. Just go for better. Go for better things, better experiences, better individuals, a better man. You're not going to get what you had the last time. That was from the last guy. And obviously, he didn't turn out to be the type of guy you needed. And hopefully, that's the last guy of that type that you run into, right? But I guess what I mean, not to digress too much, is sometimes planets are going through their self destruction. Maybe some of these planets had volcanoes and huge earthquakes, and maybe some of these meteors and comets do too. And sometimes the astronauts like, oh, we better get off this bad boy. We better get off this big rock before it blows up on us. And sometimes, a lot of times, with a certain gal, a guy might feel the same way. He might be like, oh man, she's finna self destruct. I might have to get away from this one here. Like, while I still can, while it's still good. Let me kind of, kind of get the engine fired up. Chook, 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 chook. Let's take off. Yeah, it be like that sometimes. Inner Star Wars, her Cosmosis. You said Aquarius. So the man in black in regards to the woman and having an interdimension with her, does that mean the man is a galaxy defender for her cause? Is he really trying to protect her from sabotage? Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. Uh, he's just trying to and I believe this is more of a communal thing because obviously if we're just wanting to talk on a general standpoint, a lot of gals are hurting out here, but it's ladies, it's important that you be open to healing. When the right man shows up, just trying to show you some love, even if it ain't all perfect. Okay, it ain't gonna be perfect, but because the landing of the ship ain't gonna be perfect. Look at your outer exterior. Look at what that spaceship has to go through just to get through your atmosphere. Okay, how it has to kind of seam its way through there. I won't even necessarily say penetrate your atmosphere, but just how it has to kind of glide through there in such a way, how it has to skim through there in such a way without damaging itself. Okay. But you have to know he's there to defend you, he's there to love you. Okay. But you're making it hard for him to what? Give that to have this you're making it hard for him to have interdimension with you versus intervention you try to get from outer forces, and ultimately these people try to put bombs in you too, right? um don't make it hard for the man to come in. I don't just mean physically or sexually, I mean emotionally and spiritually. Don't make it hard for the right man, the righteous man, to come in. I know there's been other guys that have come in, and yes, they have sabotaged you. Not only sabotaged, they've espionaged. Okay, that's another story. But he's supposed to be coming to you to at least give you a massage. It should be something gentle. When he lands, it should be like, oh wow, nice, right? Like you would if you did see a cool spaceship. Okay. You said also, Aquarius, back to life, back to reality, but try to be a better you in regards to the woman battling her inner Star Wars. Yeah, exactly. So He's trying to get out of it as unscathed as possible. As possible. Notice, as possible. And he wants you to know that he's not there to destroy you. He's there to try to actually help revive your planet. Now, uh, this reminds me of actually the reason why the Bible exists. And uh, a lot of scientists, they talk about it in a certain way. A lot of what they call crypto scientists, if you will. I ain't talking about crypto like money, okay? Uh, but more so like they believe in ancient aliens. Um, they believe in that. Okay, a lot of what the Bible is actually extraterrestrial. That it comes from a higher source, higher beings. Even when it says, "Let us make man in our image," it was actually more of a trinity. It was more of a being speaking in volumes, kind of similar to what you hear from Venom, Spider-Man. When they speak as us, but it all was combined in one entity. That's kind of what I believe, and I'm just speaking from my own opinion right now. That's what I believe that scripture means when it says, "Let us make man in our image." Uh, it was just the divine, the creator speaking as multiples, but of one form, one being. It's just that him being omnipotent and omnipresent causes him to talk in such a way like that sometimes. His ways are not our ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts. And guess what? His language is not our language. We're trying to decipher it from the standpoint of human. But when clearly the Bible has already been deciphered for humans. That'll go over some of y'all heads. But y'all think about it. Leave a comment below for those on the replay. All right. But getting back to her inner Star Wars, this will probably be a shorter live stream because I pretty much have went over most of my points. But there are some things I do still need to talk about, right? So let's get off into it. Let me take one more sip and we're gonna let it rip. Now, get your mind out the hole. Okay. I'm not talking about you know, needing to go to the bathroom to let it rip. I'm not talking about that. All right. I gotta have a sense of humor, man. Yeah. But all right, but this goes back to deliverance, okay? Inner Star Wars. It goes back to deliverance. It goes back to how righteous men, I believe, are the modern day exorcist. How you are sent here to drive out a lot of demons, pull out a lot of demons, or bring forth a lot of demons, or just things into the light that are demonic. Uh, and basically, without ridiculing anybody, not that I'm trying to do that, but basically, the darkness. We're trying to do something about the darkness. Like I said, fellas, it ain't always that she has an attitude. It's just her war within. All right, keep that in mind. That this is important for us to realize from a cosmic standpoint. Sometimes just smile, even when she's not looking happy. That doesn't mean that she's angry. Okay, and it's a beautiful thing when she does smile. Now, of course, we can go into these other topics of, well, her smile could be evil. Well, I'd say this. I'd say this much. It depends on her aggression. If she's less like that, no, she's just gravitating to you. She's having you gravitate to her as far as you're pulling to her. Like she literally wants you to get closer, or that's what she would like you to do. To be honest, I try not to assume every gal is evil. You just want to be prepared for whatever evils can bring itself forth. And if you are that durable type of a spaceship, guess what? You shall boldly go where no man has gone before. John Luke, Raycard. Okay? I speak as such. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah. That's been a problem all these years. See, it's funny because I actually was looking at a, a video earlier, and this guy was talking about okay, how man the Bible it couldn't have come from man because man wouldn't want to expose his mistakes. He wouldn't want to expose his flaws because man is selfish like that. But then a few years later, I mean, I mean a few years later, but then a few minutes later, he was like, well, it's funny how these holier than thou guys thinking that they're just better than everybody. So you mean to tell me that you're better than even the men that wrote the Bible? So I'm like, hold up. So you just said that the Bible was written from the divine, right? But then you say that how are you going to think you're holier than thou and holier than the men that wrote the Bible? I'm like, that's a contradiction. So I don't even say that men wrote the Bible. I said that I normally like to say that men have translated things into what we called a Bible. How were they able to translate these things? Well, it was based on a lot of the ancient languages that had to understand whatever words were passed down to them from who I believe were of a superior source, right? And they had to decipher that through their cultures. But over time, some of them had to write it down, right? They had to save it in pamphlets. Why? Because some of their people were getting caught up in wars from other nations and their people could have been decimated. So they had to try to save some of this stuff somehow. They had to write some of it down. A lot of these people had this stuff from memory from what was told to them. And that is still true of a lot of cultures here in North America and in South America to a certain extent too, right? But in South America, a lot of their nations were being more destroyed than the nations up north. So that's why, like with a lot of the Incas, the Mayans, Aztecs, they had a lot of their written languages that you saw in their pyramids down there in South America. Whereas here in North America, the nations and the tribes up here weren't being as destroyed. So they actually remembered a lot of the things that were told to them and they were able to pass that down verbally. That's why there's not a lot of written and uh, hieroglyphic accounts in North America, like in South America and Asia and Egypt and things like that. There were just like more warring nations. So uh, some people wonder if this is probably where the sacred land is in the first place versus where they normally say it is, uh, religiously speaking. But not to digress, I just want to say that that's what this inner Star Wars is about, is getting to where you can understand the true love language, the love frequency, which is 538. No, it's 528 hertz, by the way. That's the frequency, 528 hertz. It's all around us. It's even in the number of the mile, which is 5,280 feet, right? So, yeah. So that's what's up. Hey, what's good, Cortez? Good to see you once again. Good to see you once again. Yeah. So that's what's going on right now. Like, we're seeing that shift in what it means to really see what love is about, because I believe that's missing. And that's not to say, with some guys that have chose to not be involved with women or they chose to go their own way. That's not to say this is what they should do, supposed to do, and what they're supposed to be about, right? This is just only to say, at least now you know. At least now you know there's another way too, because maybe you're like, well, maybe my generation, I mean, maybe the next generation stands a chance. So hint, I'll be talking about that down the road too. Hey, this gets better with every live stream. Her Cosmosis. Check out the previous in the playlist titled Divinity here at this channel. You said Aquarius. Divine people admit their wrong and faults without ego and speak their truth from learning their lessons. Holier than thou people try to seem goody goody and never did anything wrong. Right. And that was the problem with most of what humanity has become. And that's why we have these laws. See, there's a difference between laws and rules. The only law really is in nature. There really is technically no law that man can write. True law is in nature. But man tends to write rules and call them laws. But that's for another conversation, right? But we got this game that we call this love game, dating game. There's rules in that too, I guess. There's laws in that too, I guess, that some people don't know about. And if you don't know about it, you getting played, apparently. But see, her inner Star Wars, a lot of it is just with a lot of the feminine one playing themselves. But also for some, it could be that this is not what life is about. You want your life to be more natural, not gamed up, right? Your whole world has become a Hunger Game. Literally, your whole world has become Hunger Games about what you can get, about the hunger to chase for these things of vanity in this world, to where your world is so artificial now. I'm looking at your planet from far away, sweetie. There's nothing natural about you. You don't look natural. Like if I looked at you like a plant, there's no green on that planet. There's no green. Where are the trees? Why is it there water on your planet? Your planet looks like your planet looks like a wrecking ball, literally. And I don't say that to say your planet looks like a wrecking ball. I mean, it pretty much is because it's destroying itself. It looks more like a Death Star, but I mean, it just looks like the surface of a metal ball, right? Because it's so artificial. You have no green on your planet, and a lot of gals like they lack natural looks. They look very artificial. They tend to look hard. They tend to feel hard. Yes, I said it. Feel hard when you hug a fellas, and she feels firm. Like you like, damn, hey, you need to get a rub down, baby girl. You've been rough. She be like, I know I've been working a lot. I've been working all these hours. Like her legs are just like strong. Like when you hug her, give her that little hug around the waist. You just like, dang, like she little hard. Like, damn, like, you want me to kind of take care of you, lay you down for a little bit. I rub you down a little bit. Rub your feet. The gals love getting their feet rubbed. You can't, man. If a girl talking about she don't like getting her feet rubbed, you must be ticklish. That's all I gotta say. For any girl that don't like to have their feet rubbed, you must be ticklish. Because it'd be hard pressed for me to know a gal that don't like her feet rubbed. Okay, every girl likes their feet rubbed. I don't know any girl that don't like their feet rubbed. So I'll say this: you're either ticklish or you just weird. Okay, like every girl likes their foot rubbed, man. Like you might not want to kiss their feet. Okay, some girls, you don't want to kiss my feet. Oh, well, at least he rubbed your feet. You know you wanted your foot rubbed, so whatever. So at least we got that out the way. Yeah, but that's what this is all about, y'all. These inner Star Wars. Like, let me get more into this because this ties more into the deliverance. Like this deliverance is what's needed out here. There's a lot of gals with inner Star Wars, and they're on the dark side. Hey, they're on the dark side. Darth Vader. Okay. Uh, she's just the female version of it, if you will. You know, look at the story of Anakin Skywalker and how he became Darth Vader. That can actually apply to a lot of ladies. His story alone, literally. Like going through all that and still feeling not comfortable in your own skin, just like Darth Vader wasn't even comfortable in his own suit. A lot of girls feel like that right now as we speak. Even if she had a BBL, even if she had liposuction, even if, let's say, she had a good diet and worked out and actually looks good, like what Kevin Samuels would say, friendly, fit, and feminine, just looking good, I guess. But hey, I'm just saying in general, okay, not just outside of what Kevin Samuels has said. Just in general, like she looks, look like she look healthy, but she still got a war within. The inside of her is not healthy, and it started showing her outside as time goes on. Whether she has a hard exterior, yes, feeling hard. You already know it, feeling hard. Like, dang, you expect a man to feel hard, not a woman to feel hard. Like, dang, she hardened up. Like, man, you know. But it shows on the outside. She got hardened skin. She muscled up. I'm not talking about girls that want to be bodybuilders. Okay, so no pun intended on that. I'm just talking about just from what is the fundamental woman, if you will. Let's say that you just harden up due to life. Hands hard, feet are hard. Uh, your your uh your whole body is just hard. Your voice is hard. Your eyes are hard. You got hard bags under your eyes because you don't get a lot of sleep. Your hair is even hard. Yes, I said it, ladies. Of course, I could say it like I'm from St. Louis too, because I'm from St. Louis. I could just say your hair is hard, but no, your hair is hard. Yeah, because you can even wash your hair as much as you want, But if you've got a lot of stress going on, you got other things you do that are unhealthy, you got a life you live, you deal with a lot of stress, that's not going to do much for your hair. Is your hair still going to break out? Okay. You're still going to lose hair. Yes, women bald too. Yes, men don't just bald, women bald too. Okay. And a lot of it is due to that inner stress. We got to get away from that. Get back to that 528 hertz, that 432 hertz. That's what we have to be upon. Otherwise, it's an inner Star War that's going on. And fellas, you're going to have to get away, stay away if she's about bombs away. you know, it's just that's just what it is. And you're gonna have to go light years away sometimes because there's no telling how she finna blow up. And a lot of times it ain't even personal. She might tell you that as clock ticks down on doomsday in regards to herself. She might say, one of the last things or what. And I'm not saying it's just gonna be her giving up on life, but just in general, like for her, it might just be like, look, this is about me. This is not about you. So don't think that this is about you right now. I got a lot going on in my life. And right now, I don't know what I'm about to do. And I don't want you to be caught up in thinking that you had something to do with it. Some gals tell guys that. And then he'll never hear from her for a long time or probably never again. But in hopes that, I hope she okay. You might be the type of guy to be like, well, I do be trying to pray for her. I know, you probably ain't gonna hear a lot of guys say that, but maybe I'm that type of guy that, hey, I'll at least keep her in my prayers, keep her in mind, just wondering how she been all these years. Kind of didn't hear from her after so long. She was really going through it, but she pushed me away, and I didn't really understand why, but she did like kind of let me know like it had nothing to do with me, but it's still like, man, I wish there was something I could have done about it. But fellas, that was her inner Star Wars. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. She doesn't want you to do anything about it because she knows that you might end up being destroyed in the process of whatever is destroying her. And that's not to say you couldn't have dealt with it. Don't think that you're God. You're not God. Okay. Stop thinking that you can just solve every problem, especially with a woman. You can't, especially if she tells you that. Okay. Keep that in mind. But it's the beauty of knowing that she's still communicating to you that, okay, this is something that is going wrong with me. And I just have to deal with this the best way that I can. And I just don't want you getting caught up in this. Whatever that is, fellas, that's a sign for you to, hey, okay, at least she's letting me know something is not right, right? Without you having to find out the hard way. You coming to her planet and you being swallowed up about it because I did give y'all a hint about what? Warring nations. I said that earlier, right? So we're not just talking about how the planet destroys itself. Sometimes this war within can truly be a war within. It might be her past. It might be people she knows. It could be somebody that she's still dealing with, or maybe just somebody she's trying to get rid of. But she don't want you caught up in that. So she just trying to save you the difficulty, the pain, the danger. Okay. A lot of times a girl will stop talking to you because she really is trying to uh she's trying to protect you. She's trying to save your life. Like this is deep, y'all. It's deep. Okay. Nobody talks about that. Not every time a gal ghosts you, uh, not every time a gal is ghosting you is due to her not liking you. Sometimes she just doesn't like herself. Okay. But there's still nothing you can do about it. You can pray for her, because I believe in praying, but leave it at that. Don't try to press the issue because there could be a lot of stuff that you ain't ready for. You know, you're really not ready for. And maybe she just doesn't want you to be ready for that because she sees the type of man you are and she believes you deserve better. I've had a few girls tell me that before, man. They just believe that I deserve better and I never heard from them. Okay, I'm cool with that. It was frustrating. Like, damn, okay, you giving up on me, but it wasn't really her giving up on me. It was her giving up on herself. But that was her fight. She felt she had a fight that she just didn't want me to get caught up in. You know, There's a lot of that going on. But like I said, there's also a lot going on with the gals that would like to things to be more peaceful. I think in regards to real love, guys have to be more different. Not in the way of not wanting to love a woman, but just knowing how to love a woman right or discerning when it's the right time for everything. Always be open to be gravitating to her, okay? But don't necessarily expect her to be open for accepting your gravitation for a lot of volatile reasons because planets are volatile, okay? We don't understand the power of lightning, how the lightning is actually hotter than the sun when it strikes. We don't understand that a tornado is powerful, more powerful than a hurricane, especially when it's an F5, okay? We don't understand the power of an earthquake, how it's so powerful that it can even shake an airplane out of the skies. You didn't think about that, did you? Okay. We didn't think about how powerful uh, water is. Just the one drop of water can actually destroy a whole city when it's a larger volume of water. And it doesn't take much effort for that water to do so. It is hard to measure the force of that water when it's of such a size that it can destroy a city. Okay. And there's some things going on inside of her, y'all, that it's unfathomable for a man to deal with sometimes. That war within, like Aquarius said, the war within is no joke and it's unfathomable. There's stuff you can't measure on the Richter scale in regards to what's going on inside of her. You just try to make sure you cannot get too caught up when you realizing something not right. And you could be a gentleman about it if there's a misunderstanding as far as her thinking you're walking away. It's like, no, I'm not like walking away. I'm just keeping, I'm being respectful. I'm not trying to add to the hurt or to whatever is going on inside of you or the people around you that are bringing you this badness that I guess you're dealing with too, because you're like, no, you're a nice looking spaceship. You need to get back in orbit, get out there in the planets, in the planetaries. You're not made for these earthly battles. You're not made for these worldly battles. You are divine. This is my worldly crap that I put myself in. Dealing with this guy that is a freaking bottom feeder. Dealing with this guy that came to my world and try to take me down with him. Yeah. Dealing with my family that is no good. My family don't like you, but they always hated me. So they didn't like me finding a guy like yourself that was better than them as my family. Like this stuff is deep, y'all. Inner Star Wars. You said Aquarius. Can a woman really battle her inner Star Wars by herself successfully when she's already self-sabotaging and self-destructing? Good question. Oh man, I actually, to be honest with you, she really can't battle it by herself successfully. But the thing about life is that she still will try just to keep things a certain way. She might always live with certain things, but she just will make sure certain things don't affect the way somebody else lives, like people that actually care. She's not going to necessarily try to put that off on somebody else. Like everybody wants people to be clean, without blemish, scot free, no issues, no problems, no demons. Well, some people might be fighting their demons all their life, but at least the fight ain't as difficult as it used to be. And with a lot of women, with all that they've been through, a lot of them deal with this most of their life, but they're happy knowing that some things can be kept at bay, and a righteous man in her life does make a difference, despite the fact that she's not able to battle her inner Star Wars by herself successfully. He's not adding to that war within, you see. But yeah, yeah, it's just an ongoing battle, kind of like the thunder. that is in my background right now. It's an ongoing thing, but thankfully it's not something that constantly occurs. Now, with, in science, they talk about planets when they first start out, the birth of a planet's always violent, and then it destroys itself in a violent way, I guess, you know. There's all that talk, right? But I'd say the fine line is when things are not always so gray in the skies, not always so simmering hot in the summer. There's some mellow days. And maybe sometimes it's about saving your world. So, ladies, keep that in mind. You might be sort of self sabotaging, but you have to realize, is your world worth saving? That's actually a conversation a lot of gals don't want to have, nor have the answer to, or don't want to answer. Because for a lot of gals, they will actually say, no, my world is not worth saving. It's really a deep conversation, but I won't go too deep down that rabbit hole. I'd say this much for the gal that I guess has a decent world. I would say it's just due to it being properly cultivated upon that spaceship's discovery, right? But we know this is rare. A man looks at her planetary, or he looks at her, he knows that most of the feminine, or most of these quote planets, haven't been properly cultivated like that upon his discovery. So he doesn't know what things are about to be like, and he hopes, man, hopefully I don't get hit with no space debris just upon starting out. So, ladies, I have to bring it to y'all attention. Some of that space debris is the words that come out of your mouth, whether profanity, calamity, or insanity. That's some of the space debris. Now, yeah, that guy showed up, excuse me, that guy showed up in his spaceship, the, and he saw you, okay? And that's just what comes with the territory. A guy understands that. A real man understands that. A real man don't necessarily try to call you out initially for cussing or having these certain words come out of your mouth. No, he's making an observation. And he realized, oh, dang, this is what happens. Oh, come to this planet, boom, 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 hit with all these space debris, whether it's rocks or satellites or space junk. Ladies, you got a lot surrounding your planet. I'm just saying. And you got to work on trying to take a lot of that out. Or at least if he shows up, let him try to clean some of it up and let more divine interventions take place for your interdimensions as well as outer dimensions. As Aquarius said, a very deep convo. Yeah, it is. This is her inner Star Wars, her Cosmosis. Okay? Like I've said before, like the energy beyond polarity, which is basically the energy beyond femininity and masculinity, is divinity. So that's what this Cosmosis is all about. It's about two becoming one, or unified, not becoming one as like one gender or something like that. I'm talking about just being unified, right? Becoming that gold vibration, becoming golden. Right now, like your planet is not golden, but you can be made into gold. Takes fire. Fire makes gold, right? Purified from the rocks that have surrounded you. You made yourself such a fortress. You've become a Death Star. Maybe it might take some fire to burn this rock around you off to make you more of a golden planet. But it took that spaceman getting more involved in your life in order for that to happen. Until then, it's going to always be your war within. Okay? And he has to make sure he don't get caught up in that war within. Okay? literally. He's trying to, get out while he can, and he gets hit by your space debris on the way out. Where you start cussing at him, start talking bad about him, start talking down on him while he's on his way out. Where he's like, I'm not really trying to leave you, but I got to get away from this. Like, see, she still has celestial bodies within her. That's why she rejects your extraterrestrial influence, fellas. Like these celestial bodies. Like she has different moons and got these different rings like Saturn. She got different rings, man. All these guys have given her rings, all these blings and shiny things and money. Like she rejects your extraterrestrial influence for this reason because of all this stuff she still has from other guys. Maybe she no longer has certain rings like Saturn anymore, but she still has traces of them. What do you think the craters are for? Remnants of such a time. Remnants. Even her climate has been affected by her encounters with those guys. This is why she rejects your extraterrestrial influence, fellas. You said Aquarius, a woman can have a re-enter Star Wars 2 if a good man's negative traits gets passed on to the woman because she's a mirror of him when she gets more connected and bonded with him. Oh yeah, like as far as his negative traits per se, um, here's the thing about that. Um, in regards to this inner Star Wars, is it really like negative or is it just more of like some things that just aren't perfect? But what you two coming together is about is making it worth it. See, he's not trying to awaken things in you that you've been trying to put asleep, but it's still volatile. Now, could mistakes be made or misunderstandings happen? Yes. But remember, that good man isn't necessarily having a negative trait. He's not the one trying to put the bomb in. You're just more highly reactive based on things that happened before. Like being highly reactive, like uh certain elements. You can barely put a drop of water on it without it exploding. See? Some gals have just become too highly reactive nowadays. So I'd say more so a man's not knowing of things. I wouldn't even say necessarily a mistake. I just think, to be honest, Aquarius, uh, it's just more so what comes with the territory of him dealing with her war within. Okay. And he wanted to make a situation better. He's trying not to make it worse. But yeah, exactly. Combustion. And sometimes it's a spontaneous combustion too. That's another conversation. Volatile planet, right? So he's trying his best to be his best for that planet, right? And sometimes some people misinterpret a man's best as something worse because, like he's coming there thinking he got all the answers. He know everything. He know everything about this planet. He knows everything about this woman. He got all the answers for her and all this. And it goes back to that Bible. Goes back to that Bible. It goes back to knowledge that we possibly could have gotten from extraterrestrial beings. Man tries to now think he has surpassed the gods, the divine, with the AI, but that's another conversation. Okay. Um, what better way than to beat God by beating God? Sounds like Lucifer. Hmm. Just saying. Um, and so a lot of gals are just uh, Lucy's, or they become that way due to maybe a Luciferian type of dude that they run into. Any dude that makes you no longer into the light to where he makes you have a war within, that's Lucifer, baby. That's Lucifer. I'm just saying. He was so translucent with you. Yeah. But there's more to say about this. And there's so much more to say about this. And we're going to get off into this with the next version of Cosmosis on the way. You said Aquarius, or maybe adding to the inner Star Wars is more exact. Yeah, and a lot of times this happens indirectly. Best way I could put it is him actually learning more about her is what adds to the inner Star Wars, because him knowing more about her is based on what he doesn't know about her. So that's why he unfortunately doesn't know about her until certain combustions do take place. And yes, sometimes they are spontaneous. You know, they're learning about a new planet, and you're learning, oh, don't eat that. You might eat that on Earth. You cannot eat that on this planet. That's not the same type of plant. That's not the same whatever. It's just different here. But we realized this planet once was more habitable. It's become inhabitable. It's becoming inhabitable. Ladies, you're becoming inhabitable. Mm. You got to become more compatible. Otherwise, you're becoming inhabitable. Hopefully, this live stream made sense to some. Maybe this live stream did not make sense to others, but to the others that this live stream made sense to, make sure that you hit that like button, especially for those listening to this on the replay. Your first time coming to this channel, you think my channel is epic? You think that I'm really out there in a good way? Well, definitely more in store. So hopefully you stay and just do that by pressing that subscribe button. Yeah, make sure that you subscribe, share this live, as well as my other content. Go into my archives where I have so many different playlists that consist of different content. Definitely more on the way, especially with uploads, not just live streams. More on the way. When you don't see me around, that's because Ray is cooking. But hopefully, I've given y'all enough content to check out in the meantime. I'll try to get more consistent with that, as I said I'm going to do, given the date of this live stream of something I said prior to this live stream. Like, just try to put more out because people like my content. I don't really do this because this is what I have to do on YouTube. No, people literally were like, yeah, right. Can you at least put out 3 videos a week? We really like your content. I'm like, cool. All right. Will do. I got you. But I'm about quality, not quantity. I'm about quality. Above all, everything else, I only put out quality. Everything y'all have heard at my channel has been quality. Okay. And it will always be that way. It will never change. And make sure y'all hit that notification button so that y'all get all of my whatever I put up in real time. Okay. It's only going to get better from here, no matter what it looks like out there, especially with all of the different planets that are dying before us, even all the ladies per se, all the stuff with a lot of the chaos that's going on with them. It's only going to get better from here. Ladies, it's only going to get better from him because there's still a guy out there wanting some cosmic love with you. You just have to be more receptive of him. Make sure that you have a planet where he can land. Okay? Just saying. Make it accommodating for him. Make yourself accommodating for him. Maybe you do have a war within, but maybe you also just want a man around. Well, how is he going to be around despite your war within? I'll let you answer that, whoever you are, lady, my fair lady, whoever. Not actually talking about my fair lady per se, like actually my fair lady type. I'm just saying in general, like, hey, be fair, right? No despair. I care. Okay. Also in the description section are different ways you can reach me. I'm on different platforms. You want to tip me, that's also in the description section. No expectation, no obligation, just appreciation for those that decide to tip yours truly. Okay. But I'll catch y'all on the next one. Thanks a million for stopping by. I appreciate that, Aquarius. Yep. Try my best. Always giving out gems. That's what I do every single time. Humbly speaking. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That inner Star Wars, that war within. Yeah. People just gotta think about these things. Yeah. But yeah, thanks a million for stopping by, y'all. Catch y'all on the next one. Got to go back into the outermost. All right now.